All right, class is back in session, everyone. Welcome back to the SwiftUI Firebase chat application series. Hope you guys are doing well out there. And I hope you guys were able to follow along with the very last lesson. Today's video, we are going to pick up where we left off here. Last video, we ended up with the current chat user being fetched right here. You see waterfall number 1. And then if I click on this button, the gear all the way on the top right, I want to be able to log out for the current user. Let me show you the behavior right now. So sign out, the action sheet kind of goes away, right? Just dismisses at the bottom. The finished version here, click on that. If I sign out, you'll see the login and the create account page shows up. You can log in by clicking on that. So hopefully I have my Pikachu user here, and 1, 2, 3, log in, and you'll see all of my messages as well as the user is being fetched one more time here. So I want to show you guys how to do this right now. And let's kind of begin with our current file, main messages view. So let's see, I have some code that's left over from the last lesson. So chat user is here, and we have some code down here that helps us create our chat user from this dictionary here. So that's pretty good. Maybe I'll clean this up a little bit later, but first, let's talk about the gear button right here. So whenever we hit sign out, I want to execute some code that presents the actual login page. So how does that work? Well, the sign out action is right here inside of this action sheet below. And what I will do is, in addition to, let's see, sign out, here is the action. I'm just using this print, right? So in addition to the print, I want to execute some code as well. And I have my view model object, which I will create a function called handle sign out like that. And then I'll invoke the actual function. So hopefully that's clear, it doesn't exist yet. So let's go ahead and create it inside of my view model. So again, the VM is our main messages view model, which is this file. It's an observable object. And right here, we'll create our function called handle sign out. And the only thing I want to do instead of handle sign out is to simply modify this published variable called var, and is user currently logged in. And you can set this to either false or true in the very beginning. It doesn't really matter, but I'm just going to leave it as true for now. And this should work, so I'm going to set this as true in the very beginning. And whenever I sign out, right, I can just toggle it to false, and that should work out correctly. Next thing is to actually, we're going to use this published var. And the way we are going to use that is to present a full screen cover. So what I mean is, whenever I click this guy, right, I'm going to present a full screen cover. The way that's going to work is pretty simple. I am going to go back to my main messages view, which is right here. And we're going to use a full screen cover right here. Make sure to use the is presented. And the Boolean will be right here. So I believe it's $VM dot is currently logged in. Hopefully that's correct. And then for the dismiss, you can either use nil or just do this right here. So print, let's see, I think we need a text right here and cover like that. Okay, so I'm going to hit Command Option P to resume the preview on the right side. Hopefully everything is visible in today's recording. You never know. So this guy is spinning for a little bit. I'll hit a spacebar to make this guy try to re-render itself. And once you have it re-render, you'll see the cover right here. So what I'm going to do is The reason why the cover is showing up is because this variable starts as true. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back up here. So something that's tricky about this Boolean is you want to actually set this to false right here. And you might want to reverse the actual logic for this Boolean. So I'm going to hit Command Control E. Is that how it works? No, Command Shift E. Okay, Command Control E will rename these two variables like that. And I'll just say it's currently logged out like so. Okay, so hopefully the variable has been renamed correctly. And now it starts off as false, which means that we see our current view like this by default. Now, whenever I hit the, let's see, handle log out, it's going to execute this function on line 53. And we're going to toggle that, and we'll show this full screen cover once this variable right here toggles to true. So in other words, this right here is going to go to true, and we're going to see this cover there. Now, obviously, we don't want to just see the cover, right? We want to see the actual login view, I think I called my component. So just do that right here, just open it up like that. And the moment of truth is here. We are going to click on that, sign out at the bottom, and now you'll see your login view there. So the next thing to actually handle is, let's say you log in or create an account, right? Whenever you do this, you want to dismiss this entire view here. And then you also want to go back to your main message view right here. So let's see what it currently does. I'll use my waterfall1 user because that's the user that I have, waterfall1@gmail.com. And so we'll log in, and you'll see that the only thing that we have here is the red message, which is pretty good. At the very least, we know that our user is being logged in, and that's pretty good. I'm going to hit Command Option P again to resume the preview. And you see everything is working out correctly. So if you want to add the correct behavior for sign out, you should do this instead. In addition to handle sign out right here, in addition to the toggle of the Boolean, we're going to access Firebase Manager right here, shared auth, and I believe it's sign out right there. And we are going to do this, and it should be okay. So it looks like this guy can possibly throw. You can do a do catch, or just use a try question mark like that. That should work. Okay, so whenever I click on the gear, I'm going to hit sign out and execute line 55. And it should look like this. So I'm going to hit sign out like so. And once I sign out, you'll see this guy yet again. I'm going to hit stop, and I'm going to hit play. So I'm going to hit play again. So one thing you'll notice is that once we sign out, right, we won't be able to fetch the current user from the last lesson. So we don't have the image, and we don't have the user's email being printed out there. So Pikachu up here. And the reason why we don't see the current user is because we actually logged out of the system. So we logged out, and whenever we restart the application, right, fetch current user, it's not able to pull the current user ID from this bit of code here. So it's actually not executing this code. So the logic is working somewhat correctly right now. Nothing too bad is occurring. The last thing we need to fix is whenever we detect the state of our application, right, whenever the user is not logged in, we should actually present the login view automatically by default. So the way I'm going to do that is whenever I'm inside of the init of the, let's see, main messages view model, I can go ahead and set self dot is currently logged out to something like true, like that. And once we have that, you'll see that if it's true, you'll automatically present your cover. So it should look something like this here. So I believe this should work. Let me go right here and right here. So there's some strangeness going on. I believe this is what I need to do. So just batch queue.main.async, and I believe this should fix the problem. So there's a slight bug that doesn't present your full screen covers if you don't have this bit of code. So make sure to have that and you should be fine. If you run this in the simulator, you'll get a warning telling you about some kind of message. So this is the fix there. Okay, so obviously we don't really want to just set this as true, right? We actually want to check if the user ID exists on our Firebase manager auth variable. So if this is equal to the nil value, so once it's nil, this means that our user is not logged in. So this will evaluate to true, and hence presenting this view here. And you'll see that if I click on this right here, I guess that's fine. So sign out looks like that. Log in, I will say waterfall1@gmail.com and 123 log in, and we get that. So last thing to do is to hit Command Option P one more time, and you'll see that when the application starts out one more time, right? We have both the image and also the email being fetched for the current user here. All right, so that's kind of how the sign out functionality works for now. If I hit sign out one more time and if I hit Command Option P, you'll see that the application now starts with the login view being shown. Okay, so now that we have this functionality taken care of, the very last thing to do here is to make sure that every time we log back into the system using this page, we want to dismiss this view and see the other view behind it. So the way I'm going to do this is to hit Command 1 to show my login view here. And for the login view, which is this struct there, I'm simply going to do this. I'm going to provide it with a variable, which is let and did complete login process. All right. Now this I'm going to declare as a closure, kind of a completion handler callback. And you'll see this I'll use in just a little bit. For these state variables, you can make them private. It probably is better so that you don't get confused. So I will do that. And I guess I will hit try again. Maybe the private is not going to work. I'm going to hit Command B and check the errors right here. So it says now I'm missing this did complete login process. So that looks okay. The thing that I'm going to do with this closure or this callback is to invoke it every time I log in complete, or if I go to login and I handle the login successfully. So the login user function is right here, and it says successfully logged in as the user. So in addition to this call right here, did complete login process, I'm going to invoke this handler right here. And we'll see, I'll hit resume, and this bit of code should still have an error. And that's okay. I'm going to go back to my main messages view here. And you'll see I have this error down below. Whenever I'm presenting this full screen cover, I need to provide it with the did complete login process. And just use a brace, and you should be good to go. The very last bit of logic is to say self.vm. Is currently logged out. So you can either use toggle, or to be more precise, you want to say is currently logged into false. So that means our user logged in successfully. The logic is a little weird if you think about it, but it should make sense. Okay, that looks okay. I think I have one more error, which is right here. So going back to our login view at the very bottom right in the preview panel, you're now required to pass in this variable right here. And once you do that, I believe the preview should be back in working order, which is what we see with the green dot. Okay, I think things are working correctly. Okay, so again, we are inside of main messages view. We are not logged in, which is why we're seeing this page here. I'm going to say waterfall, spell this guy out correctly. And 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, log in right here. And so once we log in right here, we should be able to dismiss this view. But I'm not seeing that currently, which is a little strange. I'll try that one more time. So log out, looks like that. I'm going to log in and let me try this one more time. So waterfall1@gmail.com and 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So log in. And it looks like for whatever reason, the preview wasn't working earlier, but now the logic looks pretty good and it's looking quite sound in my opinion. Okay, that is looking quite excellent. And the last bit of logic, hopefully this video is not getting too long. The last bit of logic that I want to demonstrate here is that whenever you have multiple users in the system, right? Currently we're logged in as waterfall number 1. You might have, waterfall number 2, or you might have your Pikachu user inside of your system. And then whenever you log in as a second user, I don't believe this will update correctly. So I'll demonstrate that right now. I think I have something like, I'm going to check my database to see what kind of users I have. It's kind of off screen, but I have LBTA user number 9. So LBTA user 9 at gmail.com. So I'm going to log in here, and the actual LBTA user number 9, I believe, has a different photo. So I'll hit Command Option P to resume, and you'll see that the user right here, the name will be correct now, and then it also has the roses right there. So the question is, like, how do we fix this problem, right? Well, whenever we log in successfully through the login view here, in addition to setting this boolean to false, we want to initiate the fetch user call again. And let me see. So I believe so our view models here, our fetch current user is a private function, which we want to make it public. I'm going to go back down here and scroll all the way down to this sucker somewhere right here. Good old. So if I can't find the view, normally I'll just hit Command F and just say login view, and it'll bring me right to the full screen cover here. So like I was mentioning earlier, you want to fetch the current user one more time. And in order to verify this logic works, we are going to sign out and log back in as the waterfall user, and this should update correctly. I'll show you that right now. Waterfall number 1 at gmail.com. And I'll log in, and you'll see the moment that I log in, right, we're fetching the user one more time. So this pretty much updates itself automatically using this logic there. Okay, hopefully this video wasn't too long. Something else that you want to fix is whenever you have, whenever you are signed out, you're going to want to execute the same logic for this registration page here. So maybe I'll do that for you and kind of wrap up this video. What I mean is, whenever you create a user, it's not going to dismiss this just yet because the login view right here, I believe the registration process, create new account, executes this login process of creating your user. Then we persist the image here. Once we persist the image, we are somewhere right here. So successfully stored image with URL. And then we finally store the user information here, which is down here, which executes a lot of code. So this is actually where we finally successfully create our account. So you want to say something like did complete login process. And this, maybe you might want to rename this. This might be called the complete create account and login process if you want to rename it. But once we have this here, you'll see that I am going to execute this code again, and we should see something okay. So one thing I want to fix is, so whenever we're creating this new account here, you actually need this image right here being selected by the user. So what I'll do is self dot, I think is the image data. I believe it's this right here. So persist image. Okay. So if this is equal nil, so if self.image equals nil, then I'm going to say self.login status is you must select an avatar image. Okay, then I'll return like that. So I'm kind of doing this live, so hopefully this is going to compile. And once we do that, so create account, you'll see you must select an avatar image. And that's a pretty good check. I will click on the leaves right here. So leaves@gmail.com and 123. And so create account, we are going to create our user, store this image inside of storage. And then we've successfully stored our image with this URL here. And this should dismiss itself automatically, but we're currently inside of login view, so it's not going to dismiss itself. We actually need to be inside of main messages view. You'll see leaves is now showing up correctly. I'm going to sign out right here to confirm this works out. Let's see right here. I believe this is fields@gmail.com. And again, we will create a user, log in, store this inside of the Firebase storage, and dismiss once we're logged in correctly. And again, we see fields instead of the top left corner. Okay, that's pretty much all I wanted to show you in today's video here. Some cleanup that you might want to consider is, in the very last lesson, I created this chat user that I might want to refactor right now. Let's just do this for kind of completion's sake. And, whenever you have MVC, whatever MVVM style architecture, you'll almost always have a model directory. And, let's just keep this kind of together here. Chat user, we'll create that. And then we are going to extract this bit of code here and just paste that in here. Now I'm going to command B, and hopefully we'll see build successful in the corner here. Everything is looking okay. The advantage of using this refactor, or I guess it's not because of the refactor, but when I have a separate location for my model code, here's what I'll typically do. You'll see in my fetch current user code right here, we are fetching our user using this snapshot data dictionary guide. And let's see, you don't really want to have all this code inside of your, your fetch logic. So what I'll do is I'm going to clean this up. I'm going to actually initialize, create an initializer that takes in my snapshot data. And the data is a string to any dictionary, so I'll just use that here. And then instead of using these new variables, I'll just set self up like this. And this is going to be a lot cleaner. All right, go back to my main messages view. You'll see that I can do this now. So self.chat user equals dot init, and the init, you'll need this data from above, which is your dictionary. This means that we don't need all this code here because we've sort of migrated that logic into our chat user here. And that is pretty much all I wanted to do for today's video. You'll see your code looks a lot cleaner now. And I think in the next video, I'll have to fetch my users inside of this screen here for this new message modal. And with that logic inside of the model class, it's gonna make this process of fetching these users here just makes it easier for me and for you as well. All right, that's gonna be it for today's video. Any questions or comments, please make sure to leave them down below. And hopefully this video or these lessons aren't too long. I'm trying to make these or pump out these videos as fast as I can. So I'm not exactly planning out the lessons as carefully as I could. So maybe I'm a little all over the place in today's lesson, but hopefully you guys were able to follow along. All right, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.